Hello, welcome to Sound Off with System 1. I'm your host, Krista Kornchuk, and I'm here today with our recruiting experts to speak with you about evaluating your career goals for 2026. Before we get started, here are a few words about System 1. System 1 is a leading provider of specialized, highly technical outsourced services and workforce solutions to critical infrastructure, technology, life sciences, and government sectors, putting more than 650 employees and 10,000 contractors to work in the United States, Canada, and the UK. As you're tuning in today, please join us in the comments. Our marketing team will be monitoring them. Let us know where you're joining from and what industry you work in. And if you have any questions related to today's topic, we'd love to hear them. Next, I'm going to have our panel introduce themselves. They're also going to be sharing a hot job, which you can view by scanning the QR code or by visiting jobs.system1.com. Joan, we'll start with you.
Great. Thank you, Krista. Thank you so much for that introduction. So my name is Joan DePippa. I'm a senior recruiter with Jolay. We are part of the life sciences division of System 1. I report to our Parsippany, New Jersey branch. I've been with the company for more than 13 years. A hot job that I have today to share, it's an ingredient compliance specialist. It's in upper northern New Jersey in the Morris County area. This role would be working with suppliers. This company is in the food ingredient space. So they need somebody to look at suppliers, and they also need somebody to work with their clients to answer their compliance questions. So it's an interesting opportunity, hybrid, high-paying roles. Give me a shout if you're interested.
Yeah, hi, my name is Catherine Matos. I'm a senior recruiter here at Jolay. I also specialize in healthcare and clinical research recruitment. My hot job is a mass spec senior scientist out here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You would need to have for this is a master's and a PhD degree with 5+ years of LC-MS experience. It is also a great opportunity with a new biotech company, initially a partnership with the university. But again, if you wanted to reach out, having more interest into it, you can definitely reach out to me directly.
Awesome. If you're interested in those roles, make sure you check out the jobs and make sure you connect with our recruiters. Without further ado, we're going to get started with our topic. Again, we're discussing evaluating your career goals for 2026. And our first question is, from your perspective as recruiters, what major shifts are you seeing in the job market as we head into 2026? Kat, we'll start with you.
Yeah, that's a great question. The biggest thing is really the skills on your resume when applying. I think a lot of people tend to apply to jobs and then not have the qualifications or the keywords on your resume that shows that, hey, I fit this position. A lot of that, adding those will help a lot because, again, you'll stand out and we'll definitely reach out to you, or any type of managers or hiring managers will reach out. Again, having those keywords.
And to echo with that, employers are looking for adaptability as well. So technical skills are very important. Industry knowledge is very important, and they're looking for individuals who have adaptability. There's a lot of new technologies coming down the pike, regulations, so they need people that can jump in and really make an impact right away.
Definitely. And on that note, we have a lot of sound off episodes on upskilling. We have sound off episodes on matching keywords with your resume. So make sure you check out those resources. Our next question, what are the fastest growing roles or skill sets candidates should be paying attention to? Joan, we'll start with you.
So the fastest growing roles, employers across the board are looking at technical skills. For Jolay, we are in the life sciences space, so our clients are looking for science skills across the board: chemists, biologists, microbiologists, forensic science, environmental science, chemical engineers. They're just across the board, just looking at various different skill sets across many industries. So we deal with pharmaceuticals, medical device, food companies, cosmetics, dermatology companies, specialty chemical companies. So those are very robust. Also, the scientific manufacturing space continues to be very robust in terms of looking for people to make products, and also support teams of engineers and maintenance engineers that maintain these advanced facilities. So that's also very robust.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Um, the other thing too is the lab tech side, manufacturing, the QC, cell gene therapy. That's going to help. That's been a growing thing, and even with AI too, and technology right now, within the health, all this stuff is going to help and continue to keep growing within the AI platform. So, look out for those lab positions or anything that Joan mentioned too. Those are continuing to grow.
Yeah, well said. I think no matter what industry you're in, AI is important. How can job seekers realistically evaluate whether their current career path aligns with where the market is heading? Kat, we'll start with you.
Yeah, great question. So as I mentioned before, I think it's just the resume as well, like matching your skills to the job, but also to looking at the mission of the company. So if you're looking at a particular company or you're applying to jobs that may be something that ideally you're looking at, again, look at the company directly, see exactly what they're doing, and then look at their mission, their goals, what they're planning on growing into, 5 or 10 years from now, because they always have an idea of the direction of they are planning on doing and growing to become. If it's the size, if it's the products they're working on, or anything relatable, they'll have it listed on their resume. So definitely do your research. And then, of course, if you know anyone who's currently working that you're friends with, definitely reach out to them too and see what's happening on their side. And if there's a way they can tell you, a little bit about the company as well, and see also too if they're happy there. That also helps to have the insight of the job itself. But again, it's just the resume and the mission of the company.
All fabulous points. As people look at postings out there, they may see new terms that they're not familiar with or new acronyms that they're not familiar with. Don't be intimidated. Throw it into a Google search or YouTube, and you could very easily learn about what it is. You may discover that the skill, you already have a skill or a very similar skill. The other thing that you could do is reach out to a recruiter at System One or Jolay. We're more than happy to take a look at your resume, speak with you about where you want to go. We have generally the latest and greatest of a lot of different employers in the area, so we should be able to offer you some great insight as well.
Well said. Those recruiters are your best advocate. And what's the first step someone should take when reassessing their career goals for the upcoming year? Joan, we'll start with you.
So I think you need to think about what's important to you now. Think about what you're good at. Think about what you like to do. In terms of what's important to you now, it could be a variety of different things. It could be you're looking for more challenge. It could be that you're looking for more work-life balance, a closer commute. So really, as you start to plan for the next year, push that chair back. Think about what's important to you, so you could start to launch your plan in that direction.
Yeah, great question or great response too as well. The big thing too is like listing out your strength, the tools, certifications, anything that you've done that's accomplished that's going to help, and see what the direction you want to do. I think, for me, I did that in the past as well. It's like, okay, I've done this. I know I'm really great at this. So what can I do with this type of tool, my strength? And then figure out, what that next step would be for you, even if it's like I said 5 or 10 years. Like again, you always want to be with a company for a long time. So you want to see if that's something you would want to be doing, but also to growing. It's just having that knowledge, everything. So definitely list out your strength.
Absolutely. And on that note, how can candidates identify their skill gaps and which ones matter the most for 2026? Kat, we'll start with you again.
Yeah, really, really great question. I think really if you're applying and of course, if you're in the job market or even if you're passively looking and you're seeing that 8 out of 10 jobs have the same keywords, and okay, this is something that for this particular job, I need to have this on my resume. And again, if you have the experience, yes, definitely add it to your resume. If you do not, please do not, of course, lie on your resume that you have the experience. We don't want that. But again, you want to put down the must-haves for this particular job, so matching your skills to your resume. That's going to help a lot and to make you stand out. So, and again, and I know Joan mentioned it before, if there's certain words that you don't know and you're like, I'm not really sure what this means, Google it, or even come to one of the recruiters and we'll be able to help you and explain exactly what that is. I know the industry is constantly changing with different words all the time and adding new things. And again, we're here to help too. So, but again, that's going to be the biggest thing, is just looking at that and figuring out what works and how can I make this job relatable to me and my goals.
And I think looking at, again, the job descriptions, I think there's plenty out there. I think a great place to start is you could look at a Jolay website, take a look at our job openings and see what's there. We have thousands of jobs to look at, and several in your area and several in your field that would probably align very closely to what you're looking for. So a great place is to look at the Jolay System 1 job site and take a look at what we have.
Absolutely. And from the recruiter lens, what qualities or experiences will stand out most in 2026's talent landscape? Joan, we'll start with you.
So I think, as we've already mentioned, technical skills are always very important. Employers want to see those on a resume, whether it's a lab skill, software, industry experience. All of those are very important to have on a resume, and to share those experiences during your interviews as you go out to different employers.
Yeah, that's actually really great. I mean, even let's just say, for instance, you get an opportunity to have an interview. Also, the biggest thing is communication, explaining that experience that you had on your resume to them directly. When you do explain it, you want to take about like 5 minutes. And if you want to practice, with one of the recruiters, or even just in the mirror, or videotape yourself and see and time yourself too, that also helps to explain your background. So, again, having that strong communication, the confidence, in yourself, and the ability to explain it and just be like, hey, I got this. I know I can do this. And then, and it shows too, like when you're talking to interviewers, like how that stands out as well. And then problem solving, that's another thing, is how are you able to handle a task and how can you do this? And one of the things that we do use as recruiters, and we explain to everyone, is the STAR method. We've had previous, sound offs where we talked about it as well, that you can always reference, or even just System 1's newsletters. Like, again, we're here to help too, but that does help a lot when it comes to explaining your problem solving abilities.
Absolutely. Yeah, the STAR method is a great tool. And as Kat said, we have it in our System 1 newsletters. We've spoken about it on other past Sound Off of System 1 episodes. So make sure you check it out. It's very useful. And what mistakes do you see candidates make when they talk about their career goals during interviews or job searches? Kat, I'll start with you.
Yeah, this comes up, I think, a lot, and we tried to explain it to everyone, and it's being too vague. If we're talking to you as recruiters, we're the first step pretty much before you go into talking to the hiring manager, and we'll always ask, okay, what's going on with your career, or what are you looking forward to do in 10 years, or okay, why are you looking now? And it always comes down to growth, and you want to explain more, okay, what's actually going on? What's the growth that you are looking for? If you're like, I want to be part of a team doing X, Y, and Z. Okay, great. Then we have more of an idea of what the direction you're looking to do, and we can figure out what companies or opportunities that we have available that initially would be a good fit, or even just give you advice based on the direction that you're telling us. But again, if you're too vague, it doesn't show that your passion or interest in the position itself or anything at all. You want to go in there and know that, hey, this is what I want to become and do. This is what I'm looking for. And again, if you know it, that's great. If you don't know it, that's perfectly fine. You can always, like I said, talk to us saying, like, I'm not sure this will lead me to, but I will eventually want to become this. And then we can go from there too.
Those are all great points. I'd also like to mention that quite often job seekers will have either on their resume or in their job discussion with potential employers an objective that doesn't match the job that they've applied to. So I think a big example would be, like, if you want to be a chemist and your career objective says you want to develop to be a CPA or an accountant. So that's just an extreme example, but keep the resume and the interview discussions with the employer focused on that job and that employer's business.
Absolutely. And what's your advice for someone who feels stuck or unsure about what direction to take next? Joan, we'll start with you.
Well, first, step back and think about what you like to do, what's important in your current life right now in terms of your career and the time that you have to spend in a job. So first, step back and take a look at that, and then use that to guide you to positions and guide your discussions and your network as you are looking to uncover where you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've had done this before. I was laid off from my previous job, and I sat down with myself. I'm like, okay, what do I want to do? Where do I start? Because I've also never been laid off, so I had no idea where to begin. I knew I had to apply, of course, but at the same time, when you're experiencing something like that, you're just really unsure. Even if you are currently working and you're hesitant about what you're doing right now or the next step, of course, just sit down, explore. You don't need to decide on anything. Just go into, okay, well, this is what I want to do. Let's start looking at the opportunities that are out there and figuring out, okay, this is something I potentially want to do. Or even if you're changing careers, again, just sit down, decide of what your strengths are, which we had previously in a question, listing out your strengths. What's going to be the best thing for you, what you want to do. But again, you do not need to decide or be in a rush. I think people tend to feel that way, and that's not the case. When the right opportunity comes, it will come and you will be very happy. You don't want to go into a role where you're going to want to leave within 3 months or so because this is something that you didn't see for yourself, but just went for it. Again, you do not need to rush into this. Just sit down and take your time.
And a small point is, again, to come back to reach out to us. We speak to people all day long. We have a lot of wisdom to share. So feel free to give us a call. We can give you some ideas. There's different options. Sometimes there are contract positions that can help build skills. So reach out to us. We're a good ear to listen and help you strategize.
Absolutely. And our last question, what should candidates be doing right now to position themselves competitively for 2026 opportunities? Kat, we'll start with you.
Yeah, the biggest thing is update your resume and then have that resume, listing out everything, but have it really match your LinkedIn. You want to make sure everything is still accurate because there's times the hiring managers will look at your LinkedIn. Even sometimes we do too. As we're looking for people who might be interested in opportunity, the first thing we might see, because we might not have your resume, is your LinkedIn. So if you don't update your LinkedIn, then you may have let's just say you may have the experience, but it's not listed because it wasn't there. We may pass over you because unfortunately it's not listed. So again, if you are looking, make sure that is up to date. Add as much information, connect a lot of people on LinkedIn. If it's recruiters, if it's certain companies, whatever it may be, definitely connect. That's going to help for you, like I said, applying and just showing that, hey, I'm on the market. Even too on LinkedIn, it has where you can say open to work. You can put that on there if you are, of course, open to it and looking right now, and of course not working. But if you are working and don't want to show your current employers that you are looking, that's perfectly fine. You do not need to add that. I definitely don't recommend it. But again, you can contact one of us and we'll be able to help any way possible. But again, just updating your resume and then also updating your LinkedIn.
And those are all great points. And as everybody updates their resume, the market more than ever is looking for people who are attentive to detail. So take a moment, look at your resume, be careful, maybe share it with a friend, an extra pair of eyes, share it with us. We look at resumes all day long. People give us thank you notes, resumes, whatever as an extra pair of eyes to help you. So that's very important. Other things you can be doing to prepare yourself for 2026, join user groups on LinkedIn. Follow some user groups on LinkedIn to start to prepare for 2026. There's going to be a lot of challenges in the next year, as there always are challenges, but I think in all of the challenges that are out there, there's always great opportunity. So I think there's a lot of great things going on, especially in the life sciences. So I think it's an exciting time as people start to explore their 2026 career options.
Well said. And we're getting a couple questions. People want to connect with you. So if you want to connect with our recruiters, their link is in the chat. Make sure you connect with them. They are a great sounding board. And we're out of time for today, but thanks to everyone who commented. Don't forget to follow System One on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can see past episodes of Sound Off with System One there. Our next Sound Off with System One live stream will be Friday, December 19th at 2 p.m. and we'll be having a live Q&A. See you then.
Thank you.